was not sure if it's working or not, but we're gonna test it right now. We're gonna see if it's working. Here's a power cable. I have not plugged it in yet, so I'm gonna plug it in right now and see if it's working. And then if it's not, we're gonna take it apart and we're gonna figure out what part we need to replace to get it fixed. So let's take a look, guys. Plug in the power cord. Plug in electricity on. Okay, I hear the click. That means the power supply is working. That's great. And I have a remote, which is from my other TV that I have. Let's see if there's batteries. Yeah, there are. Okay. And let's see if it's working. Let's take a look. And it sounds good. Alright, now we have a problem. So this TV has lines going across from left to right. So there must be some problem with either the cables that are connected to the main board, or there's a problem with control board. I assume there must be a control board, because if we freaking... Yeah, it was quick, but listen, it works. The sound works, the display works, it starts, and the only thing is just a little bit of a lines in there, which I can fix, no problem. Great. Wonderful, I have another TV to work on. Alright guys, and let's continue with our TV repair series. Today we'll be working on a Samsung Plasma TV. Here's the model number. It's a PN50B540 S3F, or for short version PN50B540 series TV, Samsung. It's a plasma TV. All we know at the moment is the TV turns on and there is a sound and the display works. The problem that we have is there are lines on the top portion of the display that go in vertically along the TV, and I'll show you how it looks, just so we can have another quick look. So give me 1 second, we're gonna do a continuous shot. Alright, let's take a look at our TV. So as you can see, the TV is on, and here are the lines on the screen. So basically it seems like the top portion of a TV has a faulty, some kind of fault in video format, and the bottom portion of the TV seems to be working okay. So at this time the next step would be to disassemble the TV and take a look at the components that might be at fault. So I'm going to turn off the TV and we're going to get back to taking this TV apart. Alright, camera set. And let's get back to this part of the TV. So number one, what we need to do is we need to disconnect the power source. So we're going to turn off this TV. Remove the cable, we don't need it, we'll put it aside. And we're going to need something like a screwdriver or a little drill set. This TV has, I believe this is Phillips, if I'm not mistaken, the cross type of screws. So I'm going to be using this little drill, and I'm going to take the back of the TV and I'm going to take a look what's wrong with it and what can we do. So before we do that, maybe I'm going to show you one more time the model of the TV. Let's do it like this. Hopefully you can see. If not, then rewind a little bit, and I already shown the model on a piece of on this piece right here. So please take a look again. Alright, and now let's remove the back of the TV. I'm going to take it from one screw at a time. The screws are pretty short and they're all the same, so I would suggest leaving maybe 1 or 2 screws at the top, so in case that back is going to fall down, you'll have at least 1 or 2 screws holding it. There are a lot of screws. Yes, you have to take these long ones as well, the one that's holding the stand, because they're going all the way through the piece of metal, which is one piece, that back panel. They're much longer than the surrounder screws. These ones are that long, they go all the way through. It's a big TV, so there's a lot of screws holding this big of a panel. But it doesn't take that long. Once you get used to it, you'll be quick. So I have 1 screw left here. Let's take this one first. Oh, we still have the 3 screws right here. Just for safety, I'm going to hold the TV. Screw left right here. And let's see. I have 1 more screw right here. That's it. Let's take a look. I think we forgot 1 screw somewhere around here. And 1 more I can see right here. I believe now that's all the screws. Let's try it again. I think we have 2 TV seems to be holding up. I must say it's a very dirty TV, very dusty on the inside. Alright, let me try it again, make sure it's balancing. Seems like it's holding. I can put the screws back just in case. A little bit more secure like this. Alright, so I believe this is the control board. This is the main video, audio, output, input, sound board. This is the power supply, and these components are responsible for the right and left side of the screen illumination. So in our problem is there are lines that go like this. So if the illumination would go, it would go either right side or left side. Since the line goes like this, we might have a problem with this little guy. So we're going to try to see if we can maybe replace this guy. And I think I still have a part from another TV. And if it's similar to this, maybe it will work. We'll see if it's going to work. So let's start with this. But first I'm going to just try to disconnect and connect. I'll check the connections, maybe one of the connections is loose. Seems like all the connections are pretty solid. And I'm suspecting number one, it's this board right here. So let's try and exchange it and see what happens. I must say I must end this video now because I don't think so. I have this part. I think I already sold it on eBay. what can I do is I can check it on my eBay account if I still have it for sale. If not, then this is gone. So I'm gonna have to look up and see. Maybe disconnecting and connecting the wires will work, but maybe we can try to reset it. We'll see. But so far we can stop. Alright, and we continue our repair attempt for this Samsung Plasma TV. We do have horizontal lines on the screen that are affecting the view area. So the main concern for us is to check the connections on this particular part of the TV, which would be it would be X or Y board, one of those boards, or XY board. I'm not sure which one it is, but it is the board that is responsible for supplying the signal to the TV to project the horizontal lines, when the bottom boards are usually the ones that are responsible for the vertical lines. So in our case, we have only a certain areas where the black lines are going through, and I believe it's either the connection first or the second, but we're going to disconnect all of them and we're going to clean them up. And for that purpose we have some alcohol and we have some Q-tips. We're going to clean the connections, try to reconnect and see if that helps. So see you in the next one, guys. Alright guys, and we're back with this Samsung Plasma 50-inch TV, model PN50B540. So the issue with this TV is it's turning on, the sound is on, but it has horizontal lines on the display, so it makes the viewing experience really not fulfilled. Oh, let's scratch that out. I'm gonna cut it out. But anyways, the lines are on the TV. We need to get rid of them. Let's figure out how. And let's start with this panel right here. This is the panel responsible for projecting the TV in forms of lines. There's a lot of little connectors right here, and every connector is connected to its own section on the TV. So if I disconnect, for example, this section right here, we're going to have the top section of TV black. So at the moment right now I have some problems on the first couple, this and this connector, and I think there's a couple lines on this connector. Other than that, this one's projecting fine. So if I disconnect one of these connectors, we're going to have a black line on the TV, and we can observe that. But by disconnecting and connecting, which I already have done in the previous portion of this video, it didn't help, it didn't fix the issue. So right now I'm going to try and proceed to clean the connectors with alcohol and some ear picks, whatever you call it, ear swabs, cotton swabs, cotton ear swabs. Basically I'm going to use that to clean the connections to see if there's accumulation of dirt or any kind of residue, and hopefully reconnect and see if we can get rid of the lines. And if we cannot get rid of the lines on the TV, the next step would be either to replace this board. Hold on, I'm gonna have to take a break since we have a phone call coming. Okay, so let's continue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect every connector and we're gonna clean it with alcohol and a Q-tip and see, maybe it's gonna help. So we're just gonna pull it back like that and it pops back up. And we're gonna put a little bit of alcohol right here on a Q-tip, and then we're just gonna clean the connectors just like that. Just pull it back. Doesn't seem like there's any dirt in there, but who knows, maybe there's just loose connection or some debris. So I'm just gonna pull only 3 because the bottom part of the TV is the display is okay, there's no lines, so the only lines I have is on this one, this one, and maybe 2 lines on this connector. So that's the only connectors I'm going to work on. I'm going to put a little bit more alcohol and just wipe it once more. Make sure you disconnect your TV from power before you do that. And just wipe it on the inside here. Do the same here. Oh, I connected back already. Do the same one here. Just a little bit of more alcohol. And this one right here. So if not for this, if not for connectors, then the problem is with the display, and most likely the burnt connector ribbons here, and we're not going to be able to replace that. It's quite a big job, and I don't have any particular parts for this. If it would be this board right here, it's still possible to find one depending on the price, and the shipping would cost a little bit more since it's awkwardly long, but if that's the one. But so far the board is working because other connectors are projecting very well, and this particular side of the board is not projecting due to the connections. So let's try and connect and see, and hopefully we're going to get a good result. So to connect it back, you just put the connector right on top and slightly press on it. Same thing here, right on top, and slightly click on top, and on top, and click, and that's it. So it's all connected. Yep. Let's turn it on and test it and see if it works, and hopefully it does. If it's not, then we can use this TV for parts. And the moment of truth, we plug it in, we hear the click, that means it's good. We're using a remote. Click. And let's see if we still have the lines. Yep, so we have some lines in this area. That's the first connector. This area, that's the second. This is the third one. There's a couple lines. The bottom part works fine. So as you can see, the top part of the TV has problems with projecting the lines here. And I can show you by disconnecting one of the connectors. I can actually show you that it's going to be just a black spot right here. Let me show you. Just going to disconnect it. I'm going to disconnect the top connector. I'm going to plug it back in. I'm going to turn it back on. And we should see a black area on the top of the screen right here. There we go. So as you can see, now we have just blacked out area. And that's the connector that was not projecting very well, as well as the second portion right here. So as you can see, we know it is the correct side. It is the responsible side for projecting the horizontal video, and unfortunately we were not able to fix it by cleaning it, but we're gonna see what else we can do. If not, then we're just gonna have to take this TV apart and use it for parts. So see you in the next one. Alright guys, so after all the work that we have done, tried to reconnect the connectors, inspect all the other connections, I've disconnected every single connector to make sure they all properly connected and give the proper signal. The last thing that we're going to do in this TV is we're going to tie up all these connections, because after doing some research online, I have figured out that a lot of times that these connections, they're responsible for the ground, for those plates, for those items, for those parts of the TV. And within time, because of the weight of TV and because of contraction and because of the heat, basically the screws they're getting untight, and sometimes they are the cause of failing parts on the TV. So either one of those little transistor resistors or memory cards, something would fail because it doesn't have a sufficient ground in it. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tie up all these little screws on every single plate, on every single part of the TV, and hopefully they will fix the issue. If it's not going to fix the issue, I think the next step is going to be to disassemble this TV for parts, because unfortunately the issue is going to be in the screen and we cannot replace the screen, it's too expensive. So let's continue and tie up all those connections. and hopefully we're gonna get it fixed. So let's see how much we can tie it up. It seems like this couple screws are tight and holding on pretty good. Some of them a little bit loose, but not much. Let's check out this one. This one's a pretty loose, yeah. Oh, this is very loose. Okay, we're gonna have to tie it up all of them, no matter which ones are there, no matter what they're holding and where they are. And we continue tightening up all the screws. Oh, this one was very loose. Oh, this one was very loose as well. So guys, make sure you tie them all. Seems like this panel has only perimeter screws. There's no screws on the inside. But I'll continue tying them up even on the power supply board and all other boards. Hopefully that will fix the issue. If it's not going to fix the issue, then this TV is ready to be taken apart, and we're going to use it for parts. We're going to sell it on eBay because most of the parts are functional. The only part that might be not functional is this plate right here, responsible for projecting horizontal lines on TV, and maybe some of the connectors or the actual display, which is the part that is in front of TV. So those are expensive to replace. This part I will not be replacing because in most cases it is not the issue, and I think I can make some money back from this TV by selling by parts. It's going to cost me zero instead of spending money on this part and taking a chance that it might work, might not work, and then after all still gonna have to sell this TV for about $100. So I think I can sell it by parts for the same $100. So you know what, we do as we can, but sometimes we have to take a break and stop investing time and money in items that are not worth it. So for this TV, I'm going to have to take it apart if it's not going to fix the problem after tightening all the connections. So let's continue. Okay, power supply board seems to be nice and tight. There's no screws in the middle of the power board. Let's see if we can tie it up on the other side. I don't know if you guys can see. Hopefully you can see. Let's do like this. Can you see like this? You should be able to see like this. So here's the one. We've tied up this plate right here. Oh, this one was loose. Oh, this one's very loose. So hopefully this is gonna fix our issue. If not, then it's not. It is what it is. Alright. Well, this plate seems to be okay. And we're more worried about the screws that are responsible for ground, which is the screws right here. They're connected to a circular type of metal. And after all the tightening up all the screws and checking all the connections, we can see that unfortunately we still have the same problem. It doesn't go away. You can even bang on it on the side to see if there's a connection problem, but it doesn't seem like there's a connection problem. Let's try this side. Doesn't seem like it's going away, so it seems like the problem is with the TV display or something that we can repair. So we're going to take a break, and I guess we're going to take this TV apart and use it for parts.